Why, hello everybody. I bet you're wondering, wow, Lorenzo's starting a podcast by himself again. I bet you're wondering where Christian went, even though I'm obviously the funnier host. But I'll tell you where he is because we work together like peanut butter and jelly. Obviously, I'm the jelly. I go well with toast. Peanut butter on toast is a little But you know what I'm saying? All together, it's the teamwork that matters. That's when things really get popping. But Christian went to the aquarium and he fell in. But he could swim, so like he's straight. He was looking at the seahorses and stuff. He saw this real big one, and he was like, I wonder if I could ride that. And I was like, real talk, I don't think I'd even want to touch one if I could. But yeah. So he's a he's so he had to dry off. He had to shower and dry off and all that good stuff because he was so he jumped in with his clothes. I was like, why would you jump in with your clothes? Like, like I didn't I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why he would do that. So, but basically, like I'm laughing because y'all should have seen it. It was kind of ridiculous. I tried to tell him to I was like, I got a jacket in the car or something. Like, I was like, preserve your clothes. But I'm just thinking about it. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I don't know why he did it. But anyway, but further ado, we have, I guess, I mean, he says he's important. He's like, he was the most famous person we could get. I'm gonna be real with you. We're just trying to make shit work. He's got a lot of followers. They probably fucking do meth in their grandma's bathroom. But like, famous is famous. Infamous, same difference. So, we got the boy Trumpito, you know what I'm saying? Some, 45. We got him on the show because we're good like that. I gave him a different playlist, just so you know. But I
We
guess he
wanted
found
to
a way
do
to.
Mask Off. Is that correct? Mask Off. We wanted to
Yeah, I
have that
want.
playing instead. But you know what? Something about the copyrights and the infringement and all that BS that you go through as a content creator these days. I understand. So we went with the classics. The classics. We love the classics.
It's actually pretty surprising how we're agreeing on this. This is going to
And it
this
may
is a
be
pretty
the
good
only thing
start.
we agree on for the duration of the interview, but I am so excited to embark on it with you.
I hope I hope we could get along. I hope it doesn't go
I hope so too.
too
Maybe we could
crazy.
get ice cream after. Who knows? Do black people like ice cream? Are they lactose intolerant as well? Because
I
I get a real bad flare up. I love the stuff. Because it's so sweet and tasty and cold. Such is the nature of ice cream. But after a while, when my lactose intolerance kicks in, it's a mess. It's a hot mess, and I'm talking about my doo doo in the toilet. It's a hot mess.
goodness.
We're
I
off to
mean,
a
like
great start.
it's okay. I went from great to okay. It's okay. Okay is still good. It's still edible.
By the way, I hope it's okay. I don't have a camera because I don't know how this is going to go. And if I want to have it scrubbed from the internet and we can't get it all the way, because the FBI doesn't work with me per se, I would rather not be filmed on camera. We'll do voice only, and I can say it's some shitty impersonator, pretending to be
I
me or
mean,
something.
I
Just to
mean, I
cover my
would.
bases.
If I knew any better, I'd say maybe you got locked up for that Mar-a-Lago stuff and you were calling from jail or something. But who knows? Who
I
knows?
should be clear
That
as day. I have a Lavelle mic on, or lapel mic. I don't know. Lavelle, is that one of your friends, Lavelle? I must be confusing my words, which rarely happens. I'm a brilliant person. I was top of my class. I rarely mess up. You will see that throughout the
is
interview.
is that true? Would you give me like the list of your classmates and like
I
the
haven't
academic
declassified that
files?
yet. I haven't even thought to declassify that yet. because as we know,
could you do it?
That's something I'm capable of doing, but that I won't do because I don't know. Again, I don't know if I can trust you yet, and if we'll have to scrub this interview from the internet entirely. And I'd rather not waste my own time. I'd rather get to the ice cream as soon as possible if we can.
I mean, but your fans would want to know as well.
Let's move on.
They...
Next question, please. Next question.
Well, what have you been up to lately?
What have I been up to? Let's see. Well, we talked a lot about ice cream at the top. It's a good dear friend of mine, ice cream, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. Strawberry, okay. Vanilla twist, those are the Neapolitan. I love a Neapolitan.
Yeah. Interesting.
Cosmopolitan. That's a drink, but it'd make a great ice cream flavor. Let me tell you, it'd make a great ice cream flavor.
Is it?
It would. It's a great idea. I'm full of ideas. I've been going through 2 tubs a day of ice cream, and I mean full-sized bathing tubs that I also sit in. So I like to sit in it. And I let it soak in, especially orange sherbet, I find is good for the skin to soak in for a prolonged period of time. I put my face in it, I rub it around. It's a sensual experience. It gets me really in the mood to authoritate and whatnot.
Well, do you have 2 separate tubs? Like, do you shower and then you go to the ice cream tub? Is that...
all the faucets have a feature. They have a little dial that I switch back and forth between, water, which is not tap water. It's actually spring water that I have funneled from the Alps. Spring water, fresh spring water, distilled, and then orange sherbet. So it goes back and forth, and it could be in shower form or in, like I said, I could fill a tub up and put some cucumbers on my eyes and just go to work.
Well, like, do you clean your tub or yourself before you
do I clean my tub? The illegals clean my tub. Are you kidding me? The good ones, the ones next question.
That was a little. What do you mean?
We've been having a good time.
Like...
I've been, as much as I miss the White House, it's like nothing's changed because I feel like Mar-a-Lago is home. And I try and spend as much time here as I can.
Yeah, you didn't stay at the White House really though, and then I feel like you're probably at Mar-a-Lago trying to like hide stuff.
But home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is, and Mar-a-Lago has my heart with lock and key, which is why I was so distraught when it got broken into by the hideous FBI. Are you kidding me? This witch hunt that's been going on this whole time, and then they break into my beloved home for what? For some papers? I'll give you papers. What do you want? I mean,
well, hold on. You said you'll give us papers, but you won't give us your class roster. So we can see your academics.
That's neither here nor there.
No, my but you just said you'd give us papers.
I have such a big IQ. It's unbelievable.
I don't know if it works like that.
You literally cannot believe how big my IQ is. It's so big and long and fat, and it's and the ladies love it.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like, what does IQ mean to you? Is that like an acronym for something else?
It is an acronym. Sorry, my throat is hoarse. It is an acronym. It's a very beautiful acronym. And it stands for 2 words that I definitely know. And I'll go ahead and declassify those words now because not many people know these 2 words that the acronym is comprised of. And those 2 words are, as I declassify them in my mind and aloud, those 2 words, I and then Q, are intelligence questions. And when you answer the intelligence questions, you then get your IQ. You see how that works? And if it is different than that, it soon won't be because I'll have my people change that.
I feel like it's probably been a thing for like so long. I don't think people are just gonna up and adjust to whatever
I think they will.
You're about to do.
I think they will.
maybe
I
somebody,
think we can do
maybe like
some convincing, some muscling in the right places, and we'll have some changes made.
what does muscling mean? Is that
It means whatever people need it to mean to make things happen that I want to happen. Next question, please. Next question.
how's Vladimir? How's y'all's relationship?
I'd rather not air that out in public. You know, it's a very intimate, sensual. Do you have the prepared questions that my people gave you? I believe they gave you some questions that I'm prepared to answer here and declassify live on air.
I just had a few questions myself. I just another one.
Okay.
Have you?
Vlad is fine. Trust that he's in good health. He definitely doesn't have cancer or some debilitating brain disease. He's winning the war in Ukraine, and we stand with Ukraine as Americans. But he's winning the war as well. Despite what the fake news would tell you, he's winning the war. He's winning, and he's doing it so well and so beautifully and so prettily. And I love him for it. I love him for it. I love him for it.
That's a very interesting way to talk about someone that should be your enemy. Maybe
You know, I wish him the best. I wish him the best. I wish Ukraine the best. I want everyone to like me. I want you to like me. I want your mom to like me if she knows who I am. If you still have a mom, or it's dads that walk out, right? Is it dads? I can't remember with the different communities and the stereotypes. It's hard to keep them straight in my head. You know.
I like to tell you one thing that most stereotypes aren't true, but they could
agree to
be,
disagree.
you know. I just want you to know that I could have hypothetically a gang surrounding you now as we speak. If you want to believe that stereotype,
well, they'll have to do a lot to get through the Secret Service. My favorite group of protectors.
Do you still have those?
You had better believe I do. You'd better believe it. It's customary when you're still president and you have the election stolen out from under you. You get to keep the Secret Service as a consolation prize.
No, yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, since you're not actually the president anymore, and I was wondering, like, would you keep them? Like, did you hire?
Did you get anything that my people sent you? I am still the president of the United States. There have only been 45 up to now. Sleepy Joe doesn't count. Because he's a loser and he didn't win.
Which United States? The United States.
They tried to steal it.
Tennessee,
they tried to steal it from us, and they failed. I've been president this whole time.
Is it like two states that have united together?
On Fox News and Mar-a-Lago. Next question, please. Next question.
Oh, no. So about Mar-a-Lago, are you worried that Hurricane Ian's about to destroy that shit?
Nothing could destroy my beautiful homeland. Nothing.
Not even a hurricane.
Not even Mother Nature. Not even Mother Nature.
That's gonna be interesting.
I have a feeling she doesn't have it out for me. You know, I didn't sleep with her. We don't have bad blood. I think that I just don't see her as the kind of lady to act rashly and out of character.
I recall you had a bit of a hands problem back in the day. Do you still have that issue?
Hands problem.
You're a little handsy.
I don't know what you're saying or implying, but I have the hugest hands in all of the world combined.
Are they as big as my hand?
You take two basketball players' hands, you put them side by side, actually on top of each other, vertically, right? Those are my hands, individual hands, one at a time. They're very lengthy, very long, slender fingers. Yes.
So you look like
I look like a reverse King Philip, a reverse King Philip. They're not so meaty, but they're very slender fingers.
Oh.
Yeah.
You look like the animation of Codename Kids Next Door.
Not surgically enhanced either. Augmented in no way, shape, or form.
I didn't know that was possible.
Those are my natural hands.
How did you know that that's some? I don't think everybody knows that that's a possibility.
I would show you and explain in detail, but I'm not using video. I refuse. I will not be incriminated.
You should send pictures when you get a chance.
Next question. Excuse me. Next question, please.
Okay. So what's the foreign policy agenda that you've been working on?
Foreign policy, I love it. I love it. You know, as you know, I'm very tough on foreign policy, very tough on foreign. People come into this country, they need to be European, Eastern, Western, what have you. They must work hard, very hard. They must be beautiful. Appearances are everything. They're everything. And they must love their country and its current, for some reason they have written former, its current president, in order to marry me, particularly the women. Yeah.
This is a little it's a little sketchy. Like if I was a sketch artist, I would probably be very excited and grab my book.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that joke. I'll use it in my next rally.
Well, please don't. Or you can, but I'm gonna sue you.
I'll
just
take
so
it.
You know.
I'll take it, and I can do that as president. Even if I think about taking something, it's mine. Just like those papers. They were mine to begin with. And then they break into my home for them. All you have to do is call. I'll give you papers. What do you want papers for? It's like,
Well,
again,
I
go to
want
Staples. We'll take you to
I
the
still want
stationery
the
section at
papers on your
Target
class.
and get you some papers, people. It's not important information. I've already declassified it in my mind. Next question, please. Next question.
No, but I still want the papers of your class roster and the academic roster.
If you ask
right?
me one more time, I'm ending the interview. I'm ending the interview if I hear that one more time out of your mouth. You understand me, boy? I mean, young man.
I have a suggestion
You
for
do
you.
look very young, as the saying goes. What is it that doesn't crack again? I feel like it's a rhyme.
Definitely not your head.
Oh,
I have a suggestion for you.
It's
You
a low
should
blow.
get a mirror. You should get a mirror.
it's a low blow.
So you can
It's
watch
dirty.
your
You're
you
fighting
can watch
dirty
your
now.
back.
You know, I'm the dirtiest fighter that's ever walked the face of this earth.
So I've heard.
Don't test me. Don't step to me.
Call me your professor, because I have a lot of tests over
I want to hear the next
rest of this
question,
course.
or I'm walking.
Okay. So how did the Sean Hannity interview go?
Oh, Sean. Sean's a good friend. Great guy. Dear friend. And by that I mean he's an objective news anchor who only reports on the truth. That interview we did was fantastic. Did you see the place we did it in? Gorgeous, stunning. And I'm not just talking about my rump either. My badonk, as the kids say, was bussin'. Bussin', by the way. Another great policy I support. The only thing Kamala and I ever agreed on. Get a load of her, Kamala. Can you believe she told people not to come? Some people need a fresh start, a release, if you will. I come wherever I want, whenever I want it, and when I want to go there. You know, Sean helped me understand in the interview that by letting me talk unfiltered in a stream of consciousness, what he helped me understand is that I can declassify whatever I want, whenever I want, even by thinking it. That's right. It's a great tool to have when you like to take keepsakes from your old job that may or may not have been yours to begin with. Speaking of keepsakes, I'm tired of all these leaking about the FBI investigations before those happen, CIA intervention, the way my penis is shaped like the mushroom guy from Super Mario Brothers. Great guys, by the way. I know them well. They know their way around some pipes, let me tell you. I'm going to start beating the fake news to the punch and leaking all of that kind of stuff myself so that I can get the credit. They want to go out and steal all my credit? I know the stuff before they do. Where do the fake news get off blowing my leads, you know? And I'm going to leak it all except about maybe my penis. No leaking there, no leaking. Unless you count the schmegma that collects in the main hole in the tip. They say you only get that if you have foreskin, so I hope it's not one of the Rias, you know. Speaking of Rias, I haven't fucked a black chick in a minute. That's a pussy I'd like to grab a couple more times before I go. If I might say so myself. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm just kidding.
I'd appreciate a little more respect when it comes to...
I'll never die. I'll never die. We're cutting everything I said after my badonk was stunning. Figure out how to stretch it out in post. Not my ass. That's perfect as is. As God, a.k.a. I intended. Okay. Next question, please. Next question.
We're leaving everything just so you know. Also,
This isn't live, is it? We could do it in
oh,
post.
definitely not.
All
Nobody
right,
will
we can
ever see
re-edit.
this.
We could go back.
Yeah,
We'll do a once-over in
nobody will
post.
see any of the atrocious things you said. I
If
surely
not,
won't.
if it is live, we'll break out the Men in Black thing. Nobody will be any the wiser. And that does exist, by the way. I can declassify that, funny enough, because then we just use it on people and then they forget I ever declassified it. How funny is that? The Men in Black flashlight thing?
That's
you're
actually,
not familiar. You're not familiar. Well, we'll use it on you in the end. Don't worry. Have no fear. You'll forget all of this.
but the rest of the world won't. And then I'll rewatch it and I'll be like, oh, he Men in Black.
You know, everybody has a little thing in their pocket called a phone. What we do is we project it through their phones when they're least suspecting it. You know, at a very vulnerable moment. Maybe they're looking at a pretty picture of a cat meme, or they're looking at their grandson's graduation photos, or they're looking at a raunchy video, mayhaps, but we know it's something that we know about them when they pick up their phone. We could set our clock to it if we wanted to. And, you know, at a certain point every evening, a man takes his phone out to get a little something done. And then that's when the Men in Black thing comes up on the screen. And they sort of forget where they are for 5 seconds until we say, you know, what they remember, where they are and all that. And we have one of those for everybody on everybody's phones. Can you believe it?
So, you have one on your phone?
Not on my phone. Not that I know of.
Oh, okay. You think there's any chance that someone Men in Blacked you and made you think that you're the president for whatever reason?
I think there's a chance for everything in this world. There's a chance for everything and everyone. America is the land of opportunity. America is the land of opportunity. And a lot of people who want to get into this country don't deserve to, but they can make big things happen for themselves if they somehow manage to before I build this fucking wall. Next question, please. Next question.
Okay, so about the wall, let's talk about that. How do you actually think that's gonna work? Like, cause you know there's like already a whole borderline thing going. Like, is the wall gonna be made out of brick? Like,
the wall is gonna be made out
or...
of cinder blocks, cement, very very thick cement. And I want it so thick that it's virtually, if not completely and entirely, impenetrable.
Oh.
Nobody will be able to scale the wall because it won't have any grooves or divots like in an Assassin's Creed game. Okay, people, We're not doing parkour here. What's happening is that the wall will be huge, big, thick wall that people cannot get through or over or around.
What if
I'm thinking along the lines of the Great Wall of China? Have you seen or heard of this wall in China? It's a very, very beautiful wall. It's got a lot of history. Some people go miles and miles away from their homes to see this wall. It's so beautiful. Ours is going to have gold trim, you know, little gold flakes in it, like a pimp's Cadillac. And it's gonna. Sorry, my throat is so hoarse. And it's really just going to be a majestic sight to behold more than anything. And I think people, when they see it on either side, they'll respect it so much they won't want to scale it and they won't want to enter our country illegally because they'll respect the majesty of the wall itself.
Well, I don't know what China is. But I know what China is.
It could be one of two things. It could be one of two things. It's either something you'd like to grab and hold on to really tight without a woman's consent, or it's a big, beautiful country that's our enemy and that we hate and that started COVID. COVID was not my fault, by the way. I want you to know that. That was Xi Jinping's fault, okay? I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't a part of the meeting where we rounded up bats and started, doing weird shit with them. I wasn't there at that summit. I wasn't there.
I disagree with most of the things you said, like 90.
And the people over there eating bad soup and all these crazy things and beef tongue and tripe and of course they're going to create some kind of wild disease. I like basic. We were talking about orange sherbet. I like a good.
See, you do some strange things, and
I
like,
like a good
isn't it
pastrami Reuben on rye with some Thousand Island sauce, sauerkraut, the whole nine. Very basic stuff. Very basic stuff. A bat stew, I would never. I
mean, I don't know. I don't know. You do some strange things.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Could we have the next question, please? The next prepared question. I'm feeling a little ambushed. We're gonna have to cut most of this interview if I feel this ambushed the whole time. Are you kidding me?
I'm just trying to point things out.
Excuse me, please, or I'll walk.
You know how? So do you know how China has the wall and people visit it and they like walk on it and all that and they take pictures?
He's not answering the question, Mr. President. I know he's not, but. Nothing we can do. You just gotta. John, I'm serious. I'm gonna have to. Can we execute this guy? Can we send him to Gitmo at least? Torture him a little bit, so we can come back with some manners. This thing's off, right? I took it off, so it turns off. Mr. President, that's not how microphones work. Fuck me, John. We're gonna have to erase this guy's memory like 5 fucking times after. You know what? If we don't get to the next question. I'm going to lose my mind. And you'll forget all about it after, but I'll have the satisfaction of knowing I got to lose my shit on you. Please, the next prepared question.
All right, I'll ask the next question.
And these are off-the-cuff answers, people. I would never, in all my life, prepare answers to prepared questions. Are you kidding me? We don't do softballs. I'm an off-the-cuff crazy guy. I say what I like to say, okay? Very opinionated.
You say that, but like with the questions that you sent me, there's also answers underneath them, and they've been pretty word from word.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth right now. Right now. Do you hear me? Absurd. Absurd. Fake news. Fake. I knew this was fake. I'm so glad. John... wasn't I right not to include my fucking camera? This piece of shit gotcha interview. Or can you believe it? The fake news at no turn. They'll stop at nothing. Let's get the last question clean, and then I'm walking, and then I'm out. My guys will make sure and trim this shit right. They'll splice it every which way, like that lady's botched boob job, that trans lady. It's gonna look like a massacre when they're done with this interview. I promise you.
Oh my. Well, do you think you'll be running for a second term?
I can't wait to be back home at the White House, working remotely from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
being evicted is no fun, especially while you're still the acting president who had their job stolen. I remember playing catch with the nuclear football. My best son, Ivanka, and I. She's my favorite. I've been trying to think of her more as a son so that I don't want to make beautiful, perfect children with her as much. I mean him. See, it's working already.
That's not well. You should see.
But like I said, it's basically like I never left because I've been working at the White House from Mar-a-Lago this entire time. That's why I need papers. That's why I need important confidential documents at my disposal at any given moment, because I'm doing the job most people can't. Most people would never even dream of, and that's being the commander in chief.
I mean, but hold up. But what have you been doing? What have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
Yeah, everything's kind of going to shit. So
what have I ever been fucking? What kind of question is that? I do whatever the fuck I want.
So what you've been doing all your life? I
can't believe I ever agreed to this. You guys have to vet these better. You can hear me? I'm turning away from the mic. I take it. I cover it with my fist. I'm doing everything I can. Some of these things I don't want you to hear, and you got big ears or some shit. I mean, those are some big fucking headphones if they're picking. I'm like, can you hear this still? You can still hear this.
No, I can't hear you at all.
Whispering like
so
this,
if you were going to say something confidential, you should say it.
I'll definitely, if you can't hear me, I'd like to say the N-word at least once. I'd like to do it. I don't.
I can hear you again. I don't think you should
I'd
do
like to
that.
declassify the N-word from my head.
I. That's not something you can do. You have to. There's a whole voting process amongst a delegation of other African Americans like myself.
Understood. Yeah, I'll let you ask whatever you want. How about that? All right. We got the softballs out of the way. Go ahead.
You never answered my wall question, but I think the wall's gonna turn into a tourist trap, if you will, and people will want to visit and walk on it and take pictures, and people are just gonna get right through the wall, you know.
Good luck walking on it. We're gonna have it loaded to the brim with barbed wire from top to bottom. Beautiful finish. Spikes, the likes of which you've never seen in your life. The most dangerous, most ornamental, beautiful spikes at the top and sides of the wall. No one's walking on shit. No one's getting around or up shit. It's not happening. It'll be beautiful, though. People, if anything, people will gather to take pictures.
No, barbs don't look good. Who told you that barbs look good? Barbers don't even look good. Nothing with the word barb in it looks good.
Nothing with the word barb in it. Look, I'll have to remember that. It's too late. We're too far into the project. And we had about 3 weeks left on the project before they kicked us out. Would you believe this? Not that I'm not working and that I haven't been as the active president this whole time, but with Sleepy Joe and his fake cabinet of fake people and fake news and Antifa in there. I mean, we were so close to finishing the wall, to finishing it, and then they kicked us out. We had 3 weeks left on the project. Would you believe this? As if they just let us finish our job and keep doing what we intended to do from the start, now we wouldn't be in this position where we have half a fucking wall. Now we have an eyesore on our southern border instead of a finished, beautiful, gigantic cock of a wall.
I honestly don't think you'd, even if you ran a second term, I don't think you'd be able to finish the wall. For one, it's like just like all your other ideas and half the things you say, it's most about everything you say it's a terrible idea and shouldn't come out of your mouth. So that's just how I feel about that.
You know what?
And
At first I was getting fed up at your bullshit, but now I kind of like it. Bring it on, because I'm going to rough you up too. We have another Men in Black thing. A lot of people aren't aware of this. Not only does it erase your thoughts and your memories, but it erases physical damage done to a person's body. So I'm going to rip you limb from limb after this interview, and then I'm going to put you back together like Frankenstein. And you'll never know what happened. And it'll be my dirty little secret that I ripped your arms off and put them in your ear sockets, in your ear holes. And I put some of the fingers in your nostrils like you're picking your nose like a little baby. And that's gonna be my little secret. My little secret after this.
Who's gonna do that? Is it gonna be you that's gonna do that?
I'm gonna do it while the Secret Service watches from the side eating popcorn, because they love that shit. They're depraved. They're all like ex-SEALs and people who've seen some shit. So they like to get off, and the pants come off. It's a whole thing. But it's very, 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 very pleasing to me.
So they're only going to watch
my enemies. I do it to all my enemies.
How many times have you been successful with this, and who are your other enemies?
How many times? I don't know. Probably 100,000, 200 times. It's just anybody off the street, any schmo off the street comes up to me and says some shit like you've been saying this whole time. You're very bold. And now you know what's going to happen to you, and you keep going and going. But no, I mean, countless people, like what are entering our southern border every day illegally. Countless millions and millions of people.
I don't think it's millions. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're exaggerating. Also,
that's what she said. That's what she said. And that's actually, right, coincidentally, what me said, the royal me, because we all know that in America, the president is sovereign, as ordained by God, whom I very much believe in, I'm very devout. I'm a devout Christian. You know
that doesn't stop you from dying, right? The Queen just died. How do you feel about that?
Oh, Queen. Beautiful Queen. I love her. to death, and then she died. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? I loved her so much she died. And it's a funny thing, when I met her those handful of times, I think it was once or twice, when I met the Queen, she was so old and brittle and frail, but the sweetest lady on the face of this earth. Let me tell you, she really looked out for her children, which I respect, because I do the same thing. When Don Jr. and Eric, and someday Barron too, when they decide to, do whatever they will on an offshore island with a certain hedge fund manager or ex-president of the United States or current president such as myself, when they decide to get a little freaky on a vacay, private jet, the whole deal, I look out for my family. You got to look out for the ones you love most, and it starts with the blood relatives and the descendants. And so I respected what she did for Andrew, because Andrew did some naughty things, from what I understand. We have intel on him. Him, a guy named William Jefferson Clinton. I'm not sure if you're aware of him. Bad man. Another guy, Bill Gates. Are you familiar with Bill Gates?
Oh, yeah. Windows and all that.
Another guy, Billy Notes. This guy, very obscure personality, but we have footage of him entering and exiting the Lolita Express, coming back from Little St. James. It's good stuff that we have. We store it up.
Interesting. Do you ever think of releasing that to the public or the FBI, or are you an FBI not cool?
I think on my last day, when I take the presidential helicopter for a joyride, and my top's off, and I'm just free as a bird above our nation's capital. I think that with my sawed-off shotgun in hand and phone in the other, I'll demand that they reinstate my Twitter account, and as soon as that happens, I'll post it all. Aliens, Area 51, the whole nine, and then I'll blow my brains out and crash directly into the Pentagon, because I want to go out with a bang, and I'll have 2 planes lined up for the Twin Towers, when they rebuild those completely and flawlessly, which is also our plan. After the wall's done, we're going to build an even better Twin Towers than you've ever seen in your life. It's going to be huge, majestic, just so that we can knock them down again for posterity on my last day on Earth. Not that I'll ever die, because I'm going to live forever, because I'm a god. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. That's what happens when you're president. You become a god.
I find that hard to believe. You might be a little unhinged, and by a little, I mean a complete sociopath, but that's neither here nor there.
All 45 presidents are still alive. Not a lot of people know this. They're all still alive. They're not just in carbonite either, like in the Star Wars movie. No, they're alive and well. And I say 45 because, again, Sleepy Joe doesn't count, and he's basically dead already. So, I mean, could you say he's even alive just because he has a pulse? I don't think that's a qualifier.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's probably I'd say 20.
On a technicality, maybe he's alive. Maybe we'll say he's alive. But he's certainly not president. I'm president.
But I think he is.
But I think he's not, and that means I'm right. Because what I say goes.
What do people call him? When people refer to him, what do they call him?
They say sleepy, sloppy Joe Biden.
No, they say
piece of shit.
Joe Biden.
That's
what they say.
What a loser. You couldn't win fair and square. You couldn't beat me fair and square, and you had to go and steal it all with the fake news.
So where were you on January 6th?
And that's all the time we have. I'd like to thank the Academy and everybody for watching. I loved this interview so much. I loved it so much. LaQuisha, was that your name again? I forget already. But I think I have to go because I have ice cream waiting, and I was going to invite you, but you were very mean the whole time. I actually hated every moment of this. But I'll say I liked it just so that we could potentially maybe be friends in the future if we want to say go to the court or something and play some b-ball. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. I'll give you my number, okay? I'll give you my number. If you remember what the number is, if after we erase your memory, if you happen to remember it's my number and you call me, I may or may not pick up and pretend I don't know you, new number, who this sort of deal. But if you do put 2 and 2 together, I'd love to get together and maybe bathe in some ice cream together and some sherbet.
I think I'm good, but we
could watch Friday. I'm chill.
Have you ever seen Friday?
Not today, nor will I ever. Thank you so much again for having me. It has been the greatest honor of my life being on this show. The
L&C Podcast.
Yes, just that. That's correct. I know where I am. I'm certainly not senile. Thank you so much. Thank you again.
Tell your followers to watch us, but
John,
don't say nothing crazy.
That was the single worst interview I've ever done. Single worst interview I've ever done. If I do some shit like that again, you have my fucking word. I'll have your head on a pike. I'll have your head on a pike. You'll be on the wrong end of the wall, John. I swear to God.
Damn,
somebody shut this down, please. Somebody shut this down. Round him up, too. Round that black guy up. I want to ask him some questions face to face like I had.
You didn't answer my questions over the thing. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me, y'all. It's okay. Well, we got rid of him. He's kind of wild. Why isn't anybody taking care of him yet? Where the New York folks out? I see what y'all be doing. Yeah, ain't nobody get that man. Y'all here. Takashi, you not gonna snitch on him? You don't.
Oh
know
my
nothing?
gosh, I'm so sorry. I was late. Did I miss it?
Yeah, he just left. He seemed kind of fed up.
I spent the whole time. Would you believe it? I spent the whole time just drying off. I was that wet from the aquarium.
Right. Yeah. It was serious. I'm like, you soaked your clothes, and I'm like, why would he do that?
I mean, you can still kind of see it's a little damp. I chose black just in case it would, seep in.
Oh my God!
Holy cow! That took so long.
I don't know why you did that.
I had to go. So what took me so long is I had to special order to like the nearest Walmart, one of those Dyson air dryers, but like a body-sized one that I can step in. And I had to install it. The guys came by, and it just took fucking forever. And because the towels weren't cutting it.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm repeating myself at the end of each sentence, like I was just doing some random shtick. No, I got to cut that out. It's like a tick. I'm so nervous because I'm late. I missed our most exclusive interview to date. Ugh.
Did you get to touch a seahorse at least? Like, I'd have been traumatized. I saw like an octopus in there.
I almost did, and then my buddy told me, he's like, it's probably not a good idea. What if it changes you? What if you have like a religious experience or something? And so then
from touching a seahorse?
I opted not to because they're so cute, and the guys get pregnant, and so it's already weird to begin with. But
that is true.
And what if they're like sea snails and they have like hallucinogenic properties? I didn't want to take the risk.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Thing. You probably should have said that. People are about to go licking sea snails.
Don't do it, y'all. And they're also usually fatally poisonous.
Oh, I was gonna say do it. No lie. I was gonna be like, do it for the podcast.
You'll die.
Don't do it.
There's no like
give it to your worst enemies. Give it to my worst enemies.
Holy shit. Well, how'd it go? Did you like him?
No, he's worse than I died. He's so bold. He's so boldly offensive. He didn't even he wasn't even sneaky about it. He was just outright with it. I was like, this guy's a piece of work.
I mean, but he's true to form, I guess. He didn't pull any punches, right?
Yeah, he was he's something. He's something.
Oh man. And after a while, that voice, I don't know how he does it, how it doesn't slip. I'm sure the beginning part and the end part sound markedly different from one another. If I go back and watch it, because I will, because I already got a message from, I guess it's Secret Service or somebody saying that we have to because we've been going for like over an hour. They said that we have to cut it down to 2 minutes somehow. 2 minutes.
Oh.
So basically just like a viral clip. So I'll see what I can do. But I mean, I'm keeping the VOD. If I have to private it, I'm keeping it no matter what.
I think it'll turn out well.
I hope so. I hope it went well. I'm so dazed. Maybe I did touch that fucking seahorse after all.
Oh my gosh.
I'm hot. I'm sweating, and I just got out of the shower. It's like, nah, that's supposed to work. It's supposed to be exfoliating.
Yeah, I don't. That's pretty. It's pretty anti-productive, I guess. Counterproductive.
I spent all the better part of all evening, 6 hours from like fucking from like 4 o'clock, just drying off. And then I took a 2-hour long shower after that, just because of how gross. And just, when you dry off dirty water, and if you feel all crusty, and yeah,
you got to wash off, but then you got goodness gracious. I assume you did laundry for those soaking ass clothes. You don't want
no, I just put them back on. Like I said, this is the shirt I wore, so I figured it was good. As long as my skin feels clean, I'm fine. And the lotion is like kind of like a barrier.
Okay.
But to be sweating through lotion, that's what's concerning me. Well, we've been going long enough. Sorry, I missed most of it.
It's okay, I guess. I don't know. All right.
You have any advice for anybody or shit?
Sometimes.
Hold on. Give me a second. I have to fix your camera. Just think about it and think out loud, but then don't give it away. Don't give it away yet.
That does not make any sense at all.
No, it does. It does. I'm like 100% sure it does. Just walk us through your thought process when giving advice. How about that? And then I'll tell you when you can actually give the advice that you have.
When giving advice, I search through the vast library in my mind, and it's like it's like Jimmy Neutron's Brain Blast, but like mine's more like a library, kind of like an Inside Out.
Hold that thought and save the rest of that explanation for the next time we need to kill time.
This time for time.
The outro's playing. Go ahead. What's the advice?
Okay. Sometimes when you have a rising podcast and you have a chance to meet a famous/infamous person, and you're trying to have them on your show just to get a lot of views, get a little clout, as the kids say. Sometimes it's not worth it. You might feel a strange way about what you've just done. So sometimes it's better to just go without and rise naturally like a phoenix from the ashes. But there weren't ever any ashes. You know what I'm saying? Where we rise like smoke from the fire, but this is like good fire. This is fuego. This is like playing one of our hit tracks, and we are the smoke rising from that fire. Your house is burning down because you can't unplug your CD player anymore.
I feel like your advice is like a fortune cookie. Sometimes I get a fortune, sometimes I get a proverb, and one day we're just gonna get lotto numbers, and then the other side is just gonna be a blank, like a misprint. It's just gonna be a smiley face because I gave up. But the translator was off.
God. What if I do give winning lotto numbers one day?
Do it one day. We'll take a poll and see if anybody won.
Oh shit!
We'll take a cut too. You gotta patent those numbers.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do it. From now on, we're giving lotto numbers.
That exact sequence.
076902.
That's ours.
Go try it. Go try it.
At least.
That's it.
All right, that's it. We'll see you guys. Thank you for holding it down, Lorenzo. I appreciate it.
Hey, I do my best. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for toughing it out with me.